What's up, Rush? How you doing, man?
Good. How are you?
Good, man. Good to talk to you.
You too. All right,
How,
big national. Yeah, what's
how
going?
you how you doing with these fires, man? You good?
I'm good. Parents had to evacuate for a day, but thankfully they're back home and it looks like
Okay.
everything's under control. And
Yeah, it's
you?
good. Same. We evacuated for a few days too, man,
Yeah.
and headed out to my mom's house out in Vegas for a few days while just the
Nice.
ash and the fire and the air quality improved, and got back last night, so we're back home now finally.
That's awesome. Wanted to ask you, big national championship game coming up in Atlanta. Talk about this partnership and what
Yeah.
you're going to be doing out there.
Yeah. So I'm excited about my partnership with Modelo because I'm getting a chance to give back to college football fans and selecting six of the most passionate fans in college football. Through their video submissions and their creativity. We graded their videos and ended up with our six most passionate fans that are now part of Team Modelo. And I'm going to meet them in Atlanta and get a chance to meet them, talk to them. We're going to go over some of the hottest topics. Some of the talk about the college football playoff system. To just everything. And what we're calling fan professionals. And so I'm excited to get a chance to meet these fans. Out in Atlanta. It should be a very exciting opportunity. But also just being at the college football, national championship, man. I'm excited to be back and just to be around the game and with Team Modelo, which is the sponsor, for college football. So I'm excited, man. It's gonna be fun.
I was looking at the two teams that are playing in the championship game, and I think that there's one school in particular that you cannot cheer for just because of where you went to
Notre
school at
Dame.
USC. You cannot cheer for Notre Dame.
Can't do it.
But
Can't do
beyond
it.
that, Reggie, I was looking. It's been this October will be 20 years since the Bush Push. That
Crazy,
means we're
man.
both old. Uh,
Oh, oh
what take
man.
take me back to that game and
Yeah.
the fact that the Tush Push has become like this play in the National Football League now.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. One that they call it tush push. I can't believe they're calling it tush push. They need to change that name back to Bush Push,
That's right.
where it originated. But man, just I can't believe it's already been, that long, and um, just going back to that game, man, it was just I never forget it. Just the way the game ended. Also, but going back to the way it started, which was before the game, the day before the game. I always tell the story where we were pulling up to the stadium and Notre Dame was in the middle of a pep rally with
Yeah.
like it felt like 10,000 fans were out there. And as soon as they saw our buses pull up to the back of the stadium, they all rushed our buses and were chanting stuff. And that was kind of like the kickoff, right, to that weekend, to that game, and what was leading up to what was going to be one of the greatest, games ever played between, USC and Notre Dame rivalry. And it was just awesome, man. It was an amazing experience. That rivalry was one that I always circled on my calendar
Yeah.
because we knew that this was a big game. This mattered to not only the fans but the alumni. This was about bragging rights. This was about playing for your school, playing for the guys that came before you that also played in this rivalry. And man, there's no better way to win a football game than
Yeah.
to allow a fan base to think that they won it and then to take it away from them. That's the
I'll
best
never,
way to win a football
yeah,
game.
I'll never forget the number of fans who stormed the field, and it's like,
Yeah,
no,
it
we
was
still got one,
crazy.
one, one play left. Um, it was
Yeah,
such a beautiful moment when you got your Heisman Trophy back. I think the
yeah.
majority of the country felt that that should happen. Where do you think
Thank
we
you.
are in
Thank you,
terms
Rush.
of USC getting the crystal ball, the BCS Trophy back, those wins? I
Yeah.
mean, if you're good to go, you got your Heisman back. How like
Come on, man.
optimistic are that that will happen?
Well, I'm optimistic. I'm extremely optimistic because that's what my lawsuits are really about. I'm the one that's out here still fighting the fight. Which is trying to make sure that everything is restored, not only to me but to USC as well. And so that's what these lawsuits are over. I felt like with the return of the Heisman Trophy, this also should have been part of that as well, the return of our national championship. But it's for whatever reason, this is something that I'm still having to fight over. But I'm not going to give up, until we get everything back. And I made that promise to my teammates when they came to support me for the College Football Hall of Fame induction. A bunch of my teammates showed up, and it was like a family reunion all over again. When I saw all those guys, I walked into the room, they surprised me, and those are my brothers. And um, you know, I still want to honor them. You know what I'm saying? Through going and getting this national championship back, which should have never been taken away from us to begin with. And we deserve our place in history, to be recognized as one of the greatest teams ever. To come through college football.
Has someone given you, because I'm trying to put into context how big you and that team was at the time, no pro football
Yeah.
in Los Angeles, um, kind of going through a down period like after Shaquille O'Neal left, it was
Hmm.
USC.
Yeah.
Has someone given you a figure like if what's happening in college sports was legal back then? And again, you guys were like pop stars, right? You guys were
Yeah.
on the red carpet. Do you have a figure in mind? Has someone told you how much you could have
uh,
made?
Man, I've heard so many different things thrown around. I don't know what's true, what's not true. What I do know is that we were, the biggest
Yeah.
in LA, in Hollywood, and USC is really that's what USC brings. And I thought Pete did a great job of meshing college football and Hollywood together, which is something that has never been done before. It was never done before that, and it may never be done again. After we'll see.
Yeah.
But just to be able to bring together Hollywood and college football in the way that he did, which is something that I'm sure nobody thought would ever work, but he did a great job of it because he was authentic, and the fans in Hollywood were authentic. The authentic USC fans. And that's what USC has, and that's what I want to see USC get back to. It's just being able to bridge that gap between so many different demographics, so many different people, so many different businesses, so many different, companies, and whether it's Hollywood, whether it's, whatever. But, that's what I want to see USC get back to. And sorry, what was your question? I was rambling on again.
No, but like I mean, I was trying to put a figure because again, it's great that
Oh
these
yeah,
players can get
yeah,
a deal with like a car dealership or like
yeah,
an NIL collective, bro. Like you
yeah.
could have. I mean, I think you could have made just as much at USC as you made at
Absolutely.
the NFL.
Absolutely. Right. At that time period, winning national championships, you got to understand too, winning national championships, Heisman Trophy winners,
Yeah,
so we had loaded roster of five-star players. Like we
yeah,
100% would have made a ton of money,
yeah.
during that time period. But, I'm happy to see these guys getting their opportunities now. I don't think, that, we've settled on what the fix is going to be, because I do think that college football players also deserve a share in the revenue, from
Yeah.
TV revenue. But that will be a much longer play, because then they're gonna have to unionize. They're gonna have to collectively bargain. All these different things that got to happen before that. And so I think unionization is the next step for college
Yeah.
football players.
When you're at this game on Monday with Modelo, I think a lot
Yeah,
of USC fans are going to be wondering, how do we get back there and how far away?
yeah,
I think with the transfer portal, they're not far off, right? I mean,
yep.
they could really change the makeup in the team. What needs to be done for USC to be contending?
Um, well, one thing I talked about this earlier in another interview was, at the quarterback position, one of the things I think was lacking was just that home run threat, that dual threat component from the quarterback, right? And, one of the things that we've seen in Lincoln Riley's offenses, in the past, whether it's Caleb Williams, Jalen Hurts, Kyler Murray, even Baker Mayfield, was they took off and they ran, and that was part of the run game. And that was part of that RPO, action that you need in the Lincoln Riley offense. And I didn't see that as much this year from the quarterback position. And I think because of that, the offense kind of suffered a little bit. Obviously, they can throw the football well, but when you play in Lincoln Riley's offenses, you need to be able to run the football well too, and not just the running back, but the quarterback has to be able to run the football well, as well. And so I don't know if that's a conversation that he needs to have with the current QBs, like, hey, y'all got
Yeah,
to start taking off and running, because that's going to open up the run game for the running backs, but it's also going to open up the passing game and the RPO game as well. And so that's one thing that I definitely want to see. Some area of improvement is just quarterbacks taking off and running more, because that's where the game is headed. That's where these West Coast offenses. I know Lincoln Riley's offense is a derivative of the oh my God, I'm drawing a blank on the name of it right now, but I'll remember in a second. But his he just needs that. He needs that run game, attack, from the quarterback position. So that's one
My
thing I want to see improvement on.
my last two questions. I heard you will be in Happy Gilmore too, and a lot
Oh,
of
who'd
people
you hear that
don't.
from?
I got my sources, Reggie. I got my sources. People don't know you are a like legit
Sir.
golfer. Like
Yeah.
you are very good. Okay, talk about that experience.
Yeah,
So you've
man.
confirmed
Yes.
it,
Yes.
and could we be seeing you more in front of the screen? Could you become like an actor?
Yeah, man. So I got opportunity to my first major role in a movie in Happy Gilmore II. I'm very excited, for when this movie drops, and I've just been kind of patiently waiting, not really talking about it as much, because I want to surprise people. You
I
know what I'm
know,
saying?
I
Like
know.
I just want to pop up on people and they'd be like, "Wait, is that Reggie?" And so, but yeah, man, it was amazing opportunity. Adam Sandler is just an amazing person. Getting a chance to work alongside with him was a true experience that I'll never forget. And I mean, my man he was directing, he was producing, he was coaching, he was acting as well, so he does it all, and I love being able to work around people like that because it motivates me. And, I want to, work around the best. And I auditioned for the role. This wasn't a role that was given to me. Like
Okay.
I actually auditioned for it, worked for it, and he loved my audition tape. And so, yeah, man, it was definitely something that I'm just so proud of myself for even attempting and taking serious and putting in the work and then getting the role, which is something that not a lot of people get experience, opportunity to do. And so I do want to act more.
Okay.
I and that is something has been a part of me for a very long time. I've always felt like Arash. I've always felt like I've been an artist.
Yeah.
And one of the things that I felt like on the football field was, me being an artist and getting a chance to just, bring out who I am on the football field. And then now getting a chance to take that to the TV screen was just such a treat for me. And I got a chance to talk trash to Shooter McGavin in the movie. So I was, man, just to even stand next to Shooter McGavin, man, to me was just awesome. But yeah, without giving away too much, man,
Yeah.
I think you're gonna love it. You're gonna laugh your ass off. Um, we got some exciting new cool things in the movie that I think fans of the old original Happy Gilmore movie are gonna love about this new one. And he's got some great actors and other characters as well that are in there. Some big name, players in there as well. So I was I was um I was amongst a lot of greatness in this movie, and I was very appreciative of that.
I love it. My last question for you. Again, I've always viewed you in this like someone who could be in front of the camera. You were great in Fox. You were great
Yeah,
as a pitchman. You'll be great in Happy Gilmore. I also think you could be a great coach. I mean, kids today,
yeah,
you talk to college kids, they grew up with you. They wore your number
yep,
5 jersey or your number
yep,
25 jersey.
yeah,
Could you do it all? Do you want to get into coaching? Do you want to just stick to acting? Like, what do you want to do for the next 10 years?
yeah. It's funny you mention that. Is like coaching has been, um, it's been so. Let me rewind. I've been coaching my kids in flag football and in all these other sports that they do basketball, baseball, track and field as well. My daughter plays tennis, and so I've been coaching my kids. I've been reserving all my coaching for my kids because I want them to be, to benefit, from all of daddy's experiences and knowledge. And so that's where I've been focusing. But lately, man, I've just been really having this urge inside of me to get out and coach, and because it's in me, and it's been something I've been thinking about a lot. I've been actually talking. I actually spoke to some people over at for the Sacramento State head coaching job when they came up. as well. So I spoke to some people over
Wow.
there about coaching. And uh, my daughter goes to a private school that also have that reached out to me about coaching as well. And so it's definitely something that I want to do.
Yeah.
I envision myself at some point, I would love to come back and be the head coach of USC at
Oh,
some
there we
point,
go.
man, and help lead USC to a national championship. In the same way that um, I was the coach for Georgia, Kirby Smart.
Yeah, yeah,
The
that's right.
same way, he's a former player, went to Georgia. I would love to do that as well. I think that'd be a tremendous story, a tremendous comeback story. I think I have what it takes. I got the passion, and like you said, a lot of these kids, especially ones that went to USC, grew up watching our era, watching our teams,
Hmm.
and even for a lot of guys in the NFL right now as well. There's a lot of guys, from Jaden Daniels to
Yeah.
other guys as well that grew up, watching me. I'm drawing a blank right now, but the quarterback at Texans, Houston Texans,
CJ Stroud. Yeah, he
CJ
grew up
Stroud,
watching you. Yeah.
yeah, grew up watching us. Bryce Young,
Yeah.
all these guys are from LA, from
Yeah.
our area, and they grew up watching USC, and so I would love to just be able to coach, recruit, and just give my experience and knowledge to all these guys because one of the things I've seen just now more than ever is the youth need leadership.
Yeah.
And they're more distracted now, than ever with social media and all these other things that are available to them. And so I know how to help that and get around
Well, I could say if you were the head coach of USC, CJ Stroud, Jaden Daniels, and Bryce Young would not leave
that.
Los Angeles.
We
They
got
would
to
play
own
at
LA,
USC.
man. We
That's
got to own
right.
LA. We got to get back to owning LA. We
That's
got to run
right.
LA.
Awesome. Reggie, you're the best. Thank you, my
Yes,
friend.
sir,
So good
man.
to talk with you.
Yeah, appreciate you, Rosh.
See
Good to
ya.
talk to you, man.
You
Yes,
too.
sir.
Bye.
All right.